We are live at the fabulous Oscars Bar and Grill. My name's Ian Witherspoon. I'm your host, and I am between Taorminas. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, you two. Huh? No handhold? Okay. How you guys doing? Okay?
Super. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Been better. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Actually, we'll get to it in the first segment. We're going to talk a little football, some great playoff football coming up, and we're going to talk who is the best college basketball team in this state of Michigan.
Also,
That's the camera I'm on, and I'm going to talk into it. And also, we're going to talk a little bit about Lake Orion sports. We haven't discussed them in a while, and I'm sure some people would like to hear what you have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get started with a little football, huh? It was a good weekend of football, depending on who your allegiances lie with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Saints fan, after a Lions fan, but I was very disappointed to see the Saints go down. And what stood out to you guys over the weekend?
I was happy that the 49ers beat the Saints.
Of course
actually.
you were. Of course you were.
Anyway, what happened? I was surprised Green Bay lost. Nobody saw that coming.
I did.
Also, the home teams, they held serve. Like Baltimore beat Houston and New England beat Denver. A lot of people were obviously disappointed, like I was, about Tim Tebow moving out of the playoffs. You know what I mean? But still, there's nothing you can say. You know what I mean? But I guess the playoffs are now, the championship games are now set, and then winner goes on to Indy, loser goes home. Two things stand out. Number one, Tim Tebow. Didn't I guarantee that New England would crush, not just beat, crush Denver, and that Tebow's reign, at least for this season, would end? Yes.
Sam, okay.
And number two, I don't think anyone expected, there was a couple, especially in New York, that expected the Packers to fall. The Packers did have some issues with the death of the offensive coordinator's son. God bless his heart. May he rest in peace. But if you look at the Giants, they played a well thought out game plan. The Packers obviously had played a Hail Mary touchdown. But the Giants still played well. They played a really good game in order to beat the Packers in Green Bay. That doesn't happen very often, where you beat the Packers in Green Bay. They didn't even do the Lambeau Leap. Do you look at the fact Green Bay didn't play their starters for about 3 weeks? They had the bye week. That was, I think that was another reason, but that was their decision. I was a little surprised that, I was surprised that Green Bay went down, especially because, not a lot of teams can go into Lambeau and just win there. Lambeau Field's not an easy place to play. And the Giants just proved that they can go in there and beat Green Bay, whereas the Lions, for example, they can't win there, and the Giants just won there. You got to also give props to Baltimore, because Baltimore beat Houston. And, Baltimore doesn't have an offense. Now they got to go to Foxborough, play New England. We're probably going to lose there because they will not lose to New England. Why? Why? I'll tell you why Baltimore will not lose. Baltimore's going to face the same fate that New England did. No, they will not. Baltimore's a better defense than Denver. Baltimore is going to win this game because they're going to pressure Brady. They're going to make Brady's life miserable. They're going to block. They're going to pressure tight ends. It's going to be a very similar game to 2 years ago when Baltimore went into Foxborough and took down the Patriots. I think New England's a wiser team. I think New England is the better team. Baltimore has offensive struggles, especially on the road. You look at who Baltimore has played the thing is, you know, the old thing, defense does win championships, but also offense wins games. And you look at Baltimore's offense, they're not consistent, they're not crisp. I like New England's chances they're going to go in and beat Baltimore. I like Baltimore in this game because of the defense. And, of course, I think Flacco is due to have a big game, and I think he's going to have it. New England's defense is 31st in the entire league. That's 31 out of 32 teams. I mean, like, if you look at it, Baltimore is going to be offensively, Baltimore will find a way because they got Ray Rice. They're going to run the ball, and then, of course, they're going to set play action. They're going to throw it down the field, Torrey Smith and Antoine Bowen for touchdowns. What about New York and San Francisco? We're not talking about them. I love Jim Harbaugh.
Why?
I love the
Why?
49ers in this game. Jim Harbaugh, he's charismatic. He's a good coach. So all other coaches are charismatic. He's a good coach. I mean, like, I like the 49ers in this game because they have a defense, and they're going to pressure Eli Manning like they did to Drew Brees. And I think that New Orleans is not and has not been a very consistent road team. If it was in the Superdome, it'd be a different story. No, 49ers are going to win this game. The 49ers are going to win this game because of defense. Alex Smith is playing. You got Vernon Davis, and of course, I am not sold on the Giants' defense. The Giants' defense is not one of the best defenses in the league. They are not a good defense.
They just went into Lambeau and beat one of the best offenses with one of the best quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. And you're not sold on that defense?
I am not sold on that defense. Green Bay's defense was not very good.
No.
They just were not. I mean, the Lions exposed them. That kind of should have gave you a hint right there. Number two, if you look at the Giants, but Green Bay didn't have three of their top linemen. So that doesn't matter. You go with what you got. The Giants, you know, I think I like the Giants. I really do. But I think because the 49ers are at home, because New York's got to travel, I'm going to have to go with San Francisco. San Francisco's a safer pick. But
Bolt got 49ers, huh?
Bolt got the 49ers. I'm
going G-Men.
You are going G-Men?
I'm going G-Men.
Understandable.
You know, the G-Men went into San Francisco earlier this year. They lost.
27-20.
It wasn't a big margin.
Right.
It's hard to beat a team twice. And the Giants, the second or the last quarter of the season have been rolling.
Ask the Lions when they played the Saints.
That's a little different story.
Okay.
The Superdome, no one wins in there, except if you're wearing black and gold. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's hard to do. Candlestick, it's not the Superdome.
No. It's not. It really is not.
All right. So we have on your end of the spectrum, the Harbaugh Bowl continues.
Yep.
For the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And for you,
Pats
rematch
and
of
Niners.
07.
No, Pats and
Niners.
Niners.
I'm sorry. Pats and Niners. Okay. Well,
what do you have?
I got rematch of 07.
Oh, okay.
And you might be wearing something on next show. We'll see, though. All right, when we come back.
Or our producer might come in here and give him massages.
He could be getting water live on the set and free massages.
We'll see. Okay.
That could be fun.
Yeah, it will be fun.
Okay. All right, when we come back, we're going to discuss a little Lake Orion. No, we're not. What are we talking about?
College sports.
College sports. Stay tuned.
Did you know that you can watch ONTV on the web? How cool is that? Just surf on over to www.orionontv.org to watch your favorite on-TV show. A service of Orion Neighborhood Television.
Orion Neighborhood Television has been your community connection for the last 20 years. From local concerts and sports to resident-made original programming, we are the voice of Lake Orion. Featuring a large professional studio, ONTV can provide you with the tools you need to make a quality program. Our staff is knowledgeable, friendly, and eager to help with your program success. Your voice, your community, on TV.
Can ONTV really be a part of Orion's history? Can a 100-year-old school be moved and preserved?
ONTV, a part of Orion's history since 1986.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas, where the fun never stops, and where we're going to talk a little college basketball. Specifically, who's the best team in this state of Michigan in which we currently reside? Who's your pick, Ant?
I'm biased. You know that. Obviously, I'm going to say Oakland.
Black and gold, baby. Who's yours?
Right now,
Yes, this moment.
Michigan State.
Tell me why.
Because you look at Michigan State, you know, like they had a 15-game winning streak until they went into Evanston, you know, but
Right.
still, I mean, you got Draymond Green, you got
Day-Day.
you got Keith Appling, you got
Brandon
Derek Nix, I mean Brandon Wood, I mean like Michigan State, I mean like they're still a very good basketball team, you know. I think they're going to be a serious contender for the Big Ten, you know. I mean like, you know, a lot of people say who the best team in the state is, you know. I mean like if I had to rank them right now, I would say Michigan State 1, Michigan 2, Oakland 3. I will say this about Michigan State. Michigan State's been road tested. They played Duke at Madison Square Garden, North Carolina on a carrier. They have a quality road win against Gonzaga, quality win at Wisconsin. They beat Indiana. They beat Iowa. That's a very impressive resume so far. And then then obviously with Michigan State playing Michigan as well, I think that Michigan State's been tested. And you know, obviously they lost at Northwestern this week or last week. Then they will get the chance to redeem themselves later on the season against Northwestern and East Lansing. In terms of the reason why I say Oakland is the best team in Michigan. Obviously, I managed there. Oakland's rebounding. They had a nice win against IPFW. They have a big one tomorrow against Oral Roberts. Always
Your
a
favorite
big one.
team?
Hey, my favorite team.
Oh, I forgot IPFW is.
I think that Oakland is going to come back. Oakland is coming back to the top of the Summit League. As far as Michigan goes, Michigan lost to Iowa and Iowa City, but Iowa City is very, very hard to play at. One team that we forget to mention is UOD Detroit Mercy, but
That's okay.
you know, yeah, that's understandable. Western Michigan actually has pretty good. They got a really good, impressive undefeated streak at home right now. Eastern, you know, they're getting there. Central.
So
Regular's not bad.
when you guys both think MSU tops Michigan.
Yes.
Why is that? What about Michigan makes them go behind
Michigan
MSU?
lives in Michigan. Pretty much is a team that lives and dies by the three.
They were one-dimensional.
Michigan is a little bit more one-dimensional,
Yeah.
whereas Michigan State, you got a multi-dimensional threat
Right.
with.
And they're young.
Well, Michigan's got some experience. I mean, you know, Novak and Douglas.
Well, I meant MSU's young.
Well, MSU.
Not exactly
Not
young.
exactly. Green is a senior. Wood is a senior. You know, they just have experience. I mean, Wood obviously played at Valparaiso, and then you know and with Michigan State they've all been there.
Right.
You know, they've been, you know, you look at they're very, you know, they've played harder. They've played harder in terms of, you know, they've been to NCAA tournaments. They've been through the ups and downs.
Right.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
I'm saying, like, if you look at them with Michigan State, I mean, like, they got experience. Michigan, Anthony, you're exactly right on that. But I also think that, you know, like, inside Michigan State as better than Michigan, because, like, even though Michigan's got really one guy that can rebound in Morgan,
Right.
Michigan State's got Nix that can rebound, Green that can rebound. They got Payton that can rebound.
Tom Izzo once in a while can get a rebound.
Oh,
One thing Izzo prides himself on is rebounding, and he always has. Anytime a team plays Michigan State, rebounding is always going to be a war.
So this is nice. I mean, you both agree. It's a little less heated. Is there anything here that you don't agree on, aside from the fact that he loves IPFW and you love Oakland?
I love Oakland. Oakland is my team.
Yep.
Oakland, I think Oakland's going to bounce back. They've been bouncing back.
Yeah.
I'm very, very confident Oakland will get to the Summit League Championship. They will win the tournament.
Oh.
A lot of people think that I might be crazy.
still
There's
got
a
Oral
lot
Roberts?
of people who think Oral Roberts is going to win the tournament.
Yeah.
I don't think Sammy's one of those guys, but I
he
look
did
at
preseason,
Oakland
he had
will-
I
Oral
did
Roberts.
preseason pick Oral Roberts.
Where are we at now with you?
Oral Roberts right now is unbeaten in the Summit League.
Yeah, but if you look at once tournament time comes around, Oral Roberts, they went to the championship game last year, but Oakland won the thing. Oakland has experience in the NCAA tournament. Oakland will get the job done.
That's probably the only team I don't think Oral Roberts wants to see is Oakland. I'm going to admit that. That's the team Oral Roberts does not
Face
want
it,
to see.
Oakland has Oral Roberts' number, especially in big game environments. Oral Roberts might have won in Rochester the last time they played, but if you look at between Oakland and Oral Roberts, Oakland, I feel, is the better team than Oral Roberts. Oral Roberts has got lapses in them. I feel that Oakland will win the Summit League tournament. I feel very confident. They might not win the league championship. We'll find that out in a couple weeks because Oakland's got 4 very big games. They might not win it, but I feel like in the tournament, they will win it.
That's my man right there.
Oh, God. I think that if you look at it, I mean, like, Oakland does have the experience, but what seed are they going to get? What
Doesn't
seed will
matter.
they get?
Oakland's still a threat in the tournament. If you look at, I understand the number
What
one
seed?
seed. I understand the number 1 seed has won the tournament 90% of the time. But if you look at the way that this tournament's going to go, everything is destined to end. All reigns are fit to end. Oral Roberts will not get to the NCAA tournament. I can promise that. It will be a cold day before they get back to the championship game.
In Hades.
Wow.
Are you silenced?
I'm silent.
He's silenced.
I promise that.
And with that, we're going to head to a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to discuss Lake Orion sports.
I'm silent. Jeez.
Can ONTV really change the way you see Orion? Can a community hold a talent show to raise mental health awareness?
ONTV, a part of Orion's history since 1986. Video classes are now enrolling. Call 248-693-3377 to reserve your seat today. A service of Orion Neighborhood Television. This is you. And this is your community. You have a great idea. But how do you get that idea to your community? ONTV has your answer. You see, ONTV is a part of your community. We help you get your idea on cable, so everyone you know will learn about your great idea. So, what are you waiting for? Get your idea on cable and into your community. Get your idea on TV.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas here on Orion Neighborhood Television. Boys, have at it.
Lake Orion sports. You know, we haven't talked about it in a while, Sam. A lot of our Lake Orion viewers are wanting to know what's going on with that.
Well, you know, like, been busy with the girls program over there. I mean, like, the girls right now are 6-4. You know, I mean, like, they've been they just had a 2-game losing streak before they won over Brandon the other day. Got Adams, you know, I mean, like, but also you know, I mean, like, they play Oxford Tuesday night, you know, here at the Dragons
Dan.
in the Dragons Den, you know, I mean, like, the girls, you know, they've been depleted, you know what I mean? I'm going to admit 8 players, only playing with 8 girls, you know, but they're still finding ways to get it done.
How's Steve Roberts doing?
He's doing very good, actually.
I think
Hello, Steve Roberts.
I
Go
think
ahead.
the boys basketball team, they're doing pretty well themselves too. They have they did lose. They had a tough one to Ferndale on Friday. They play obviously they're playing Seaholm, Stony Creek, Lapeer East. Those teams, you know, Lake Orion should do well against. They've got a really good, you know, they got a really good chance to do very well. This team's very, very special. a lot of offensive production. You know, then they're really pleasing the fans that are there. You've got a couple of the players, and they've got a really strong JV cast that's really good too. That tried to run the 20-0 table. They have one loss, but this is a really powerful team. That Lake Orion boys basketball team is going to be really good for the next several years.
Well, I also look at, let's look at, JV team this year, like if you're starting 5 freshmen over in the girls' side, I mean, like if, they got a couple wins in their belts, and then of course the freshman team, it got a lot better under Coach Scott Simon. They've had some tough losses.
Scott Simon's the coach over there?
Yeah.
They've had some tough losses, I know.
Scott Simon.
They lost a tough one to Harrison the other day. They got a win yesterday over Birmingham. They got a win over Seaholm on Monday. And then, of course, we'll just see what happens when they play Adams and then when they play Oxford. Oxford's going to be a really interesting matchup for them because Oxford has two very good players that I think is going to really challenge them.
What about the
I
other
don't know
teams
Oxford had a
such as-
basketball team.
Oxford's got a really good girls team this year.
What about the wrestling team, coached by Coach Corey Kaczynski? They're doing a pretty good job there too.
Well, they had they had some losses. They had a tough one the other day to they played Rochester Adams. They lost that one. Then
Adams is not bad.
Adams not bad. Clarkson's pretty good. You know what I mean? I mean, like if you look at it, the red in wrestling is really tough because you got Oxford in there, who's the defending state champions. You got and then Oxford just lost to Rochester.
What about Catholic Central?
Then of course you got in the state you got CC in there, you got Rockford in there, you got Davison in there. Yep. I think wrestling it's really tough in wrestling.
What about the JV wrestling team? I hear they're pretty good.
They're good under
first
year
coach. Good friend Scott Avery.
Hi, Scott.
Kudos to Scott, class of 06er.
The greatest generation.
Yes, the greatest generation that is. They're getting.
He's whipping them into shape, I hear. I hear
Yeah.
he's putting them in a few headlocks, giving them some noogies,
Not
I didn't hear
exactly.
about that one.
Oh.
Not exactly.
Have you been into the practice at JV?
Also, what about Lake Orion hockey?
They've had a good start. I mean, like if you look at it,
They're doing pretty well too. Just a shout out to them too. Also the skiers finally got snow.
We do?
Finally got some snow. They can go to Pine Knob and ski.
Okay. Anything else on the Lake Orion report card front?
Well, the cheerleaders finished. They had a second, third place finish.
that was a JV. The varsity was at Brighton. I'm not sure how they did, but they got a big tournament this weekend at Rochester.
Are you going to it?
Probably not. And then next week is the Orion cheerleading invite over at Lake Orion.
Are you going to it?
Probably not.
Sam, why not?
We'll see. I'm not sure yet.
I bet you there's some pretty good looking
We've
coaches.
pretty much moved on.
Pretty
from
much moved
cheerleading.
on.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe we'll move on to the question of the day. How about that? The question of the day comes from
Julia.
Julia would like to know, will Ian Witherspoon ever figure out which camera he's on? Will the Detroit Red Wings win the Stanley Cup this year? And you will not answer it. Neither one of you will answer it. And I'll answer the question.
No.
And I'll say yes.
No.
They will.
No.
Tell me why.
Here's why.
Actually, I don't want to hear why. Yes, they
Can
will.
you let me explain?
How about the trade deadline? They have a lot of money coming up at the trade deadline that they're able to use, and they're pretty hot right now. So look out.
The
No.
Wings won. The Wings did win. They did break a record. They of 15. I know that the Buffalo Sabres are in crisis right now. They having lost. Didn't they lose 9
9 in a row.
9 in a row. So I mean, the Red Wings took advantage of an opportunity that was given to them, and they benefited from it. And they've got the longest home streak in history.
Not
at
in
the Joe.
history.
Well, at the Joe.
At the Joe.
But
20's the record.
I mean it's good for them. They
At the Boston Bruins.
No.
70s.
No. They will not
But
win a
as far as
Stanley
them-
Cup.
As far as them winning the Stanley Cup, I would say that, there's a lot of good other teams out there that could contend with the Wings, such as the you still got Chicago, you still got St. Louis, you even got Dallas, I'm gonna
Dallas.
be realistic with
Dallas.
I'm gonna be realistic with Colorado.
Okay.
I want them to. I want the goal for the Avs.
want
is
them to
just
fold?
Be getting, no.
Oh.
The goal is I just want to have them get in the playoffs and just just perform
Pray.
well in the playoffs.
Pray.
No, not play.
Well, this is what I'm thinking. This is why Detroit's not winning the Stanley Cup. 1, got Vancouver Canucks. 2, a team that Detroit has had to deal with and has problems with the last 2 years, named the San Jose Sharks. And then of course, everybody in the West is really tight. If you look at the season right now, if the playoffs ended today, Detroit is 5th in the West right now.
What do you mean if they ended today?
If the season ended today.
Ah.
And because if you look at it, Detroit's got to worry about, in that Central race, St. Louis and Chicago. Whereas, of course, being a Dallas fan, you have to worry about San Jose.
I think the
but
Wings are
also,
more than capable of winning the Central.
I don't think they will win the Central. I don't
know if
think
they'll win the Central.
I think that I can see Detroit maybe being this worst, maybe being a 7th seed. Maybe.
Huh?
You're kidding, right?
I'm not kidding, because like
the
if
Wings
you,
are 7th seed?
He's drunk.
I think if you look at it,
Your brother's drunk. Don't let him drive home.
If you look at it, everybody knows. Everybody knows my projections, of course. The Dallas Stars will make the playoffs, and then they will win the Stanley Cup. And Ian knows, and he will be so happy to see the Stanley Cup will be coming to Texas under first-year
And it will
owner
melt.
Tom Ghilardi.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
I'm not so sure about that one.
All right. Well, that about wraps it up. Somebody call a cab. Sammy needs a ride home. He's too inebriated to drive.
Any last words from
No.
everyone?
No.
You sure?
Go Wings.
Now go Stars.
Goodbye.
Avs.
Go
Goodbye.
Stars.
Goodbye.
Go Stars.
Go
Go
Avs.
Stars.
Go Avs.
Go Stars.
Avs.
Get out. Get
Go
out. Get out.
Go Stars.
Go Avs.
Go Stars.
Go Avs.
Done.
Go Stars.
Done.